Okay, so since Arber Xhekaj killed one Senator player and wounded 2 others during the Habs and Sens prospect game, there's been quite a bit of a ruckus going on. Senators fans are not happy at all. Some of their players even spoke out about Xhekaj, and in this video we're going to take a look at some of the comments that were made from both sides, including Arby himself. Because after the game yesterday, the media they swarmed around this guy. It was like stepping on a bee's nest. Everybody wanted to speak to the most exciting player of that game. And of course, they were pretty quick to ask him about the fight. And about the conversation that Xhekaj had with an official before the third period began. And this is exactly where we're going to start, with this photo right here. So apparently, Arby himself initiated this conversation, and he would tell the media, quote, "I wanted to talk to them because one of the guys on the Sens side made some bad comments, and I wasn't gonna let them. They had no right to say things like that, and I explained the situation to the refs and made sure that they were aware of it." So there you have it. Apparently a couple of the Senators players were doing some talking, when they should have been doing some listening. And Arby, well, he took care of it. He handled himself appropriately, I thought. I mean, these prospect games are usually as rough as a cow's tongue anyway. And if anybody should know about this, it should be us. Take a look at this tweet that resurfaced yesterday, and this one was made by Andrew Zadornowski all the way back in September of 2018. And he would say, quote, "Every year the Sens try to injure a Habs player at the rookie tournament. 3 years ago, Tim Bozon was jumped as the game was ending. 2 years ago, it was Sergachev getting boarded head first. Last year, there was a clothesline on Michael McNiven. And this year, it's Jake Evans. So, I guess, karma sucks, right? The Ottawa Senators, they can whine and complain all they want about losing 3 prospects in one game, compliments of Arby. But in reality, I mean, they kinda had this ass kicking coming to them for quite a while now. The Habs are getting tougher, Xhekaj is a beast, and teams are about to find that out pretty fast. Now, Sens prospect Angus Crookshank would also speak with the media yesterday. Keep in mind that Crookshank was actually a victim of Xhekaj last year, and even though he was one of the few survivors of this game, he was still a little salty and wasted no time to voice his frustration on Xhekaj's hit on Victor Lodin. The Crook would say, quote, "It's a dirty hit. You could ask anybody in that room. There's not a lot of respect for that guy and how he carries himself, to be quite frank. Simply put, they hate him. They don't like him at all. But you probably wouldn't like a hammer either if you were a nail. So let this be a learning experience. Number 1, you gotta have your head up around Xhekaj, and number 2, for the love of God, do not make him angry. That's it. If you can do these 2 things, you'll be fine. Sometimes. Now, as for the fan side of things, a lot of people are wondering if there's going to be any sort of retaliation towards Arby, considering, he manhandled their prospects. And I mean, these 2 teams are going to meet up in the preseason. They play once on October 1st and once on October 4th. You might want to circle those dates in your calendar. But I mean, realistically, what are they going to do? I mean, who are they going to send after him? Their captain, Brady Tkachuk? Yeah, great, send him. That sounds like a great way to put him on the concussion protocol list. Austin Watson? What's he gonna do? Arby would rearrange his face like a Mr. Potato Head. It's been a long time since the Canadiens had a guy in the system that's as tough as Arber Xhekaj. And I think management needs to take their time with him and do everything that they can to develop this guy the right way. They can't screw this one up. They gotta be patient with him and make sure that he does become a good shutdown defender in the NHL. Because believe me, the team is gonna need him. They're gonna need this guy just as much as they need their Slavkovskis and their Wawas. There's a good reason why this guy was known as the sheriff down in the OHL, and that's exactly what the Habs need. Their own sheriff to protect the younger players. Who was the sheriff last year? Jeff Petrie. Remember that?
Give it to him, Jeffrey.
But yeah, as you're all aware, since this guy was invited to camp a year ago, I'm really excited about him, okay? This is my kind of guy to get excited about. I think he's a very important piece to the puzzle, equally as important as all the other guys. Is he going to play in the NHL this year? I don't really know, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did see him from time to time. And hopefully in Laval, he just puts on a show down there. As for the other teams in the AHL, I hope they got health insurance. That does it for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the aftermath of this game down in the comment section. Don't forget to throw a battery acid over the like button on the way out of here. And hey, I'll see you next time.